Sienna God, hello all. Good afternoon, Awado. Thank you for watching. So this is day 28 of reading Lone Wolf Alpha Squad Copy Over by James Rink. And these are his experiences. This is James Rink, and in parentheses is the bear. A few days later, on January 29, 2007, I received a response from his girlfriend, Jezebel. She glanced at my MySpace page, and noticed that I had a picture of Nate with the caption, "Victim of Government Mind Control." But she thought this was a sick joke. She told me Nate had no memory of me or any involvement in mind control projects and wanted nothing to do with me. So then I revealed extremely private details about Nate that only a close friend would know, and she began to realize I was telling the truth. So I asked her, "Why doesn't Nate contact me himself?" She replied, "Nate doesn't trust you, he tells me." Why would I email a crazy guy? He's all freaked out about the government and tweaked out. So I asked her to just try a little harder. Then on February 8, 2007, Nate sent me a bizarre email. Thursday, 8 February 2007, 13:10 and 13 seconds. Oh, wait, what? Oh, yeah, it's that thing that they did, you know, like -0600 on the timestamps. And it says, in parentheses, in quotes, Gray Wilder. And then it says, there's a less than symbol, Gray Wilder at 6x's.com, and then there's the greater than symbol. Hello, James. We are emailing you concerning Nathan Wilder. Your interest in this particular person has raised concern. Further research shall be discontinued or actions will be taken to destroy the information you have archived. We understand your concern. However, the things you've recorded are personal information. The other information you have found was fabricated by your own mind. Telekinesis and government brainwashing does not exist and has never existed. There's no evidence in any government logs that aliens have ever existed. We're watching you, James. Mr. Gray. Then he says, clearly this was not the same person I knew. I noticed how he signed it as Mr. Gray. Jezebel confirmed this was indeed Nate's email address. So I said, Mr. Gray talks like someone who works for the government. Why doesn't Nate email me as Nate instead of a government-controlled alter? She answered back, Nate is just joking about all this. He didn't think you would take it seriously. So then James Casbolt emailed him. Date, Friday, 04 May 2007. Greetings, Nate. My name is James Casbolt, and I'm friends with James Rink. I am writing a book called Agent Buried Alive, which may be made into a movie. For more information about me, see my website, www.jamescasbolt.com, CASBOLT. And then in parentheses it says website since shut down. And he says, I am hoping we can open up in an ongoing dialogue. Would that be possible? I have no hidden agendas. I am only interested in the truth. All the best, James Casbolt. Nate's response. Date, Monday, 07 May 2007. James, and then parentheses, Casbolt. Mr. Rink is suffering from a shared psychotic disorder. He's in a cult, and you're feeding his drivel. DRIVEL. I don't know if that's how you say that. The website you showed me was nothing more than the beliefs of someone all too lonely. Bear is looking for a friend. You've given him one in the form of a crazy belief. See a psychologist. Nate. These conversations went on for some time. In those emails, Nate never answered as Nate. On week 3 of the ordeal, I dreamt of a dense woodland surrounded by a barbed wire fence. I opened the gate, and out from the shadows ran a black wolf, full speed ahead without slowing down to acknowledge my presence. When I told Jezebel about this, she told me she had been praying for Nate at the same time I had the dream. Then the attacks began. Jezebel woke up in the morning and found cuts on her back. Surrounded by broken glass and covered with dirt stains, I suspect she was suffering from DID and was probably a monarch herself. The more I talked to Jezebel, the more dissociative and secretive Nate became. She told me that they were living together in Rochester, New York. In parentheses, remember, this is where Andy Perro was programmed by Project Paperclip Nazis. When I shared that information with Jezebel, she was determined to get to the bottom of what was going on and began snooping through Nate's stuff. She told me she found 5 bottles of embryos labeled, Nathan Wilder, oh dang, in his basement, and thought perhaps Nate was making clones of himself. What? I think her and Nathan probably were making stuff up at this point. I suggested she be careful because Nate was known to have been possessed with demonic activity. You could see it in the dark nature of his poetry, for example. And this is from an excerpt. It's an excerpt from one of his writings, I guess. I have become a monster, an evil entity with malice equaled only by my hatred for myself. I have become a celestial beast. I am all that is evil and corrupt. I am all that is strange and archaic. I am the new which threatens your humble way of life and your morality. I am the Antichrist and the new Messiah. Follow me to nowhere so we can do nothing in a dance of non-existence. I am death. I am Dapuka. Dapuka. I don't know. When Jezebel confronted Nate about the meaning of Dapuka, she told me that Nate became extremely nervous and instructed her to cut off all contact with me. And then, next topic, Nate's cult. Jezebel informed me that he had started a cult. He called his disciples the Chosen Ones. Remember, in Satanism, those which follow Satan are called the Chosen Ones, and everyone else is referred to as the Expendable Ones. Jezebel reported seeing over 100 followers, with more join in every day. All of them had telekinetic abilities. Jezebel then informed me that Nate intended to use a small army to bring about the New World Order and make war against the Council of Light. Good luck with that one. Eventually, my correspondence with Nate's girlfriend was cut off. My last message from her was on April 2nd, 2007. Hi, James. I believe that I am being controlled now. I feel really depressed and sensitive and like I am in a daze. I can't live like this. How do I stop this? Please respond quickly. I'm experiencing violent dreams and I am having very weird encounters lately. I'm so scared. Jezebel. And with that, I never heard from her again. Locating and contacting Nate was pretty simple. He was on Facebook, but getting him to answer simple questions resulted in strange responses. One of my friends reached out to him and relayed this conversation back to me. Nate referred to himself as a lab catastrophe gone right. He kept saying he was one of the children of Rochester and seemed especially concerned that others knew about the group. There's more of us, you know, he told my friend. I'm recording all of this. I record everything and transmit it to my superiors. I try to stop myself, but my altar is very strong. When asked what kind of abilities he had, Nate responded, I have enhanced strength, but nothing too intense. My capabilities lie in my eyes and mind. I can also run and swim for much, much longer than everyone else. I was programmed for other tasks, but I am genetically superior. Nate expressed an interest in jump gates, the grid, and wanted to know if I knew about his clone. He also revealed he had been to the future and said it was horrible, but I can't tell you much else. When Nate was asked why he abandoned me, he responded, that was before I developed my altar. James needs to move on and find other things to occupy his time for his sake. When he was asked about his Z altar, Nate coldly answered 00-01A6J001, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 or so periods, and then says, I have to go. Z programming is based on the Zarathustran, Zarathustran model of a genetically superior human. So that was pretty much the extent of my last contact with Nathan. Not exactly a happy reunion. June 2007. A few months later, a psychic channeled this message from Nate. I've seen things you don't want to see. Don't worry about the microchips. You will be okay. We work together in my labs. I have to go now. Unfortunately, that was all the information I was given, so based on what we have reviewed so far, it appears that Nate has been changed out with a clone. This makes perfect sense. The real Nate goes missing, so the fake one lives out his life, and his family and friends believe everything is okay. He must have been programmed to view me as an enemy, and his child of Rochester nonsense is probably some programming that broke down after I triggered him. I had another friend remote view what may have happened to Nathan in the final days. This is what she saw. Your friend Nathan was a loner and felt like an outcast. A bit of a computer nerd. This is all in quotes, by the way. He likes to wear hoodies. He says he's okay, but he's not alive. I'm sorry. He was grabbed by 2 men and a woman in a black blazer in the woods. They were after him because he knew something about you, but was afraid to tell you. Oh boy, he had info to tell you, but it was too late. They knew. He wanted you to have a disk chip. It contains a log or a journal. The person you talked to in 2007 was not Nate. He loves you very much and is with you. He makes his presence known in your dreams. He gives you clues only you know and understand. End quote. I feel this is the truth. A certain vibration needs to be reset between the both of us before we can meet once again. I also tried contacting Nathan's mother without giving too many details. And this is what he wrote to her. Darla, did Nate ever have any thumb drives or stick drives he wanted to give me about what I was involved in back in late 2004. The reason I'm asking you is because Nate won't talk to me. In March 2005, he told me he was dying, and he stopped talking to me for 2 years without telling me what happened. When I was able to locate him, he had claimed to have no memories of me, and he would sign his name as Gray Wilder. The last I heard from him, his girlfriend told me he started a cult, and then she went missing too. Before all this happened, he had a bunch of files he was keeping on me, and I just wanted to know if you know anything about them. Do you keep his stuff in storage from that time? She wrote back, no, I don't have anything from that time. This is in quotes. He really wouldn't have kept any files. Sounds like he may have been telling you stories. Sorry about that. Take care. End quote. Her response didn't really surprise me. Nathan told me his mom was a handler, so it's her job to make sure people don't figure out what happened to her son. And if she wasn't a handler, you would think she would be more curious about our interactions, especially based on Nathan's mental health record. Another friend claimed to receive a telepathic message from Nate. Not sure what to make of it, but thought it was worth mentioning. Nate is screaming, in quotes, let me out. Oh God, the blood. My nails. The other one is an imposter. They have killed me more than once, only to keep reanimating me. I am not really here. I was always a hologram and illusion. I want to leave. I am in a box. It's dark. I'm scared and I'm so hungry. They only feed me once a day. I don't remember where I am. I just remember men with helmets and blue lasers on the visors. They're going to kill me again soon. If you want to help, follow the white rabbit. End quote. In 2008, Sani, S-A-N-N-I, C-E-T-O, gave me another clue. Sani claims to be a gray extraterrestrial hybrid who, in her past life, was one of the aliens who died in the crash at Roswell. She wrote me back saying a variety of interesting things about Nathan and myself. Dear James, this is all in quotes, Nathan was infiltrated by government conditioning and his mind was altered by their programming. They used draconian mind erasure programs on him, which is why he was acting like he did not know you. They did not know you. Draconian lizards are very aggressive, and since he was connected to their government black ops, he was an easy target. Greys aren't used as superior warriors because they are small and weak physically. Lizards are the opposite, and they are much better suited as warriors. The MIBs, or Men in Black, aren't really men. They are androids. Oh, is this still quoting? It is. Okay. They are androids who are created and programmed by the Black Ops, which is connected to the shadow government. It was the programmers of the MIBs who did that to your friend Nathan. His soul can be returned to its body when and if he can break free of their programming. The embryos in the glass containers found in the basement were created from his sperm and mixed with test subjects. A few, it says where, but it's supposed to be were, taken from his girlfriend, and the genetic testing she was forced to participate in. Love, Commander Sani. And end quotes. Sani, why don't I remember anything? And here are quotes. In quotes, my people are small and not physically strong like humans, and without the technology to protect us, we are defenseless against humans. We visit you out of curiosity to understand how humans treat others on their planet. The reason star people don't let you have your memories is because they feel that you're not ready to accept them, and they are afraid the memories might cause you more harm. And it says, this drawing shows how my memories were laid out in a motherboard configuration of compartmentalized memory blocks put over me to prevent me from discovering who I am, as drawn by a majestic, metallic man, through direct contact with the commander of the domain and analyzed by Sani Cito. The domain ET crashed one of their vehicles in 1947. The event spawned the American top-secret agency known as Majestic, under the ONI, Office of Naval Intelligence. And it says 1 public face, 2 conscious mind, 3 driver, 4 memory veil, 5 memory barrier, 6 criticals. And this is what it looks like. I then told her how I suffer from fatigue, autoimmunity, constant needle marks and implants, and a brain injury in my left temporal lobe. And in quotes it says, my people and the Council of the Light never do evil things like abducting people or giving them cuts and needle marks. The triangle-shaped scab isn't for my council, and it's not greys. It's reptoids disguised as greys who are doing genetic research, using you as a test subject. They use many things on your mind to destroy your brain. This is all covert government. So I'm going to leave it there. Don't go hang again. You winning a chance. Okay, till we meet again. Love you, minute.